I think the key to CRM is to really understand that it should be enabling processes at your dealership. And when you look at the first CRMs that were out there, they were really just a tool to manage leads. And then later it became software that would manage the showroom traffic and the phones. And what we've kind of got away from is really about managing the relationship. We should be getting personal with our customers and really developing a relationship with that customer, calling them back, doing those type of things. And if you set up these processes at the dealership that might work, the only way that you're going to have any results is if they're doing what you're expect them to do. And so you have to make sure that your CRM is integrated with the phone system so that you know what kind of calls they're doing, or if they're not making their calls, integrate it with your phone on your cell phone so they can't use the excuse that they made all their calls from their cell phone. Being able to really just take that old mentality of even having like an old desk log that a lot of dealers have used or even still use, and really incorporating technology so that we can maximize every opportunity and then really hold these people accountable. So with some type of a checkout report or a daily activity report where managers can then manage their salespeople and say, look, this is what you did today, this is what you haven't, this is what you still need to do, and then they can use that as a training or an opportunity.
That's a big problem that we see, and all of my partners or competitors or whatever you want to call them see in this business. We all go into dealerships with the best intentions. The dealer has the best intention when he buys it, and you have a great training week. Trainer goes in and he leaves, and then 3 weeks later the dealer is not utilizing the tool to the level that he needs to. As a company, we believe in this business, you've got to have great support, which means at our company, we believe you have to have a multi-level of customer support, from a performance team in-house to an account manager in that store monthly. But even with that level of support, we still see a lot of failure with the system, whether it's utilization, tasks being left undone, many areas. So what we're trying to do at Elite is come up with ways to automate this so we do it for the dealer. Of course, he has a choice in what he wants done based on ROI of that task, but the more we can use technology in conjunction with the greatest customer support, we want to give them the ability to automate a phone call, a text, an email, whatever, if his salesperson or internet person doesn't do a task. So we've seen products like Ava that have been out in the business that dealers go pay a lot of money for, to support their stores. We've built all that. So we believe the future of CRM is automating some of these technologies. So if a task gets undone by a human in the store, that at a certain time period, 2 days, it gets done, whether it's through a call center or whatever.
Gets done one way or the other.
The panel is called The Future of CRM, and I think we can come up here and talk about all these new features that are coming out, and I think for the most part, a lot of, at least the companies that are up here, have been very innovative. When I started, 9 years ago at DealerSocket, it was a web-based tool, and my competitors were server-based, and dealers, you guys would say, well, I don't know if my data is safe, and what happens if the internet goes down? And you're seeing these innovative companies who built these platforms on this web-based. We've been able to expand. And before we can even talk about the future, we still have dealers that are using very old and annotated products and services and server-based. And a lot of the things that we'd like to talk to about and do, a lot of people are still using that. And so going to the second question in regards to mobile, about really changing the culture is, I heard a statistic that only 25 to 35% of fresh ups are being captured on your lot. And you look and you see, well, why is that? And maybe they forgot their name, they get busy, or for whatever reason. But when you use a mobile CRM, it changes things. You have the ability to add that customer into your CRM right when you talk to them. And then when you talk to them and you say, hey, you're interested in this Toyota, hey, you know what, I have a great video or a great brochure I want to send you. What's your email address? And the customer doesn't feel that they're being put into a system. They're not behind a desk. And so not only am I capturing more ups, which data that we've looked at, we're seeing an increase of 33%, but we're also capturing more cell phones. We're getting more email addresses. And it really allows us to be a salesperson 24 hours a day. I can be at the bank, as somebody sees that I work at a Toyota dealership, and then next I can start talking to them. I can input the customer. If I get a happy birthday notification on my day off, I can call that customer. So it's really changing the whole dynamic of the culture of the salesperson, of really being a professional 24-hour salesperson.
Hugh?
He talked about culture change. The hundreds and hundreds of dealers that we put in every year, it takes a long time to change culture. Dealers aren't patient with most of us CRM vendors. They want to see immediate profit. They want to see things get better fast. They want to sell more cars, more service. We don't have time to wait on a culture change, and that takes the top-down thing we've all talked about. So we've got to attack this at a different level, in my opinion. I mean, culture change takes years. They have to have a vision. Vision is, sometimes they don't want their CRM partner to tell them how to run their store. They really want us to help them sell more cars and service, but they want us to do the majority of the work and make their people better. So the way we look at it is you've got to have people in the store that really understand and can get into the manager's head. The guy that's the owner that we sell isn't going to go out and in most cases run the deal as far as the CRM side. So your managers are key. You've got to get those people bought in so they're the power users, not just the internet or the BDC, which are typically have been the power users in our business over the last 30 years that I've been in business. So we have a structure where, okay, you got to train the managers, you got to have account people in the store every month that are not keystroke trainers, but they're actually car guys. Because a manager doesn't want to listen to a 25-year-old kid out of college that comes in and says, here's this great technology. He has to understand the car business.
Right.
Then you have to support it every month with unbelievable customer support as a company, and then you put in front of the manager, somebody said earlier about the dealer needs to see something coming to him easy. We have all types of metrics, but dealers want to see metrics that are positive metrics on improvement and selling more cars, and we automate all that, so he's able to see all that. In the most successful stores, whether they're on eLead, VIN, Dealer Socket, there's always a champion that is a power user of the tool. We have a training process where we bring these people in and try to cultivate those. They're ID'd at our stores at week 1 of install. So we're going to find that person. We see that as we've got to find that person for you. We've got to come to the dealer or the GM and say, hey, we want to bring these people to our corporate headquarters. We want to make them the best in our system. And we believe very, very passionately that if you've got a champion or a CRM manager, that they'll understand the full capabilities of the tool. So, I mean, we bring in 300 to 500 people, depending on the year, to do that type of training. There's no charge. We pay for everything. We think that that's a huge investment that we can help you make that will let's help you take your CRM to the next level.
Hunter?
Going back to this change of culture, if you just look at the classes that you've attended today or what people have talked about, there's still this emphasis on driving traffic to your dealership. We're still paying a lot of money for leads. We're all of our focus is really in regards to advertising and buying leads, where we have this great customer database in our CRM, and we know more about this customer than we've ever known before, and more than we ever know on any lead that's coming in. I mean, we know every time they visited, what cars they've looked at, what do they own. As you mentioned, trade evaluation. We know bank programs, manufacturer incentives. We have all of this data within our CRM, but often we're not using the technology or even just processes to mine the customers that we do have versus paying for a lead, $25 that might be going to multiple dealerships. So really having somebody, some successful dealerships have even incorporated a 4th source. We know the 3 sources: phone, internet, and Fresh Up, but having this 4th source where all they're doing is just mining data and creating opportunities. And the real power of a CRM is about creating opportunities or identifying opportunities so that you can say, hey, this is a customer that's in an equity position or that's high, out of warranty, high average RO, I can get them into a new vehicle. All of those dynamics are important things that we need to know that we have in the CRM that I think is very underutilized before we even get to the big data part. Integrating social media, apart from social media like Facebook, but just the social aspect of interacting with your customers has to be an integral part of your CRM. Little things like being able to look to see if they're on Facebook, not necessarily to market to them or to do anything, but maybe even just to see if we have a mutual friend and say, oh, you know what, we share this person, I sold him a car. Being able to leverage social interactions. I mean, if you think about going back to those first, second generation car sales, it was all about relationships. It was all about social, about who you knew, and the small town referrals. We've kind of got away from that, but I think with social media, it's helping us to get back, and I think the CRM is an important part to that.
You ask about now, though. Most of us, I think, already have the capability, I know we have for over 10 years, where you can add a picture of your customer right at day one of the relationship as you build the rest of your profile on them, whether it's their favorite sports team, kids, you can put it into the system. My call center gathers information and adds it into the system. So, I mean, is there more you're looking for than that?
Please give our panel of experts a big round of applause.